Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. My name's Cameron. I've been a full-time trader for the past 27 years, and in today's video I'm going to go through a live trade that I've just finished doing on gold. So if you get something out of this video, please click on the like button, click subscribe and notifications, and leave your comments below. Let's get into the trade. Okay, so I'm just looking at gold at the moment. The US market has just opened, so we're 5 minutes into the US market. But I'm actually looking at gold at the moment, just on a larger time frame, because if you watch my videos before, you'll see I talk a lot about trend, and trend is extremely important to me. So on this chart here, you can even go to a larger time frame. You can see we've got a lot of consolidation through here, but we've got these two really important levels. We had a breaking of a high here, but we've come down now, and we've now started to make a lower high. So if we go to the lower time frame, I've got a high here, a lower high, and the same high. So possibly a double top and coming back down to this really significant level here. So as I've spoken about in previous videos, when I'm trading, I'm looking for three significant things. One is trend, so a high, a low, and a lower high. A high and a lower high. Trying to do a video whilst actually doing a trade is difficult in my head, because all I'm thinking at the moment is trend. And I've also got a pullback that I'm looking for here. So you can see I've definitely got a pullback in price where the price has gone sideways. And I'm looking for this level here. You can see I've got a line here, and that will indicate a breakout of that level. So I'm actually just going to look at this on a lower time frame, just to see where we are around here at the moment. So I'm looking at both of these time frames, and if we do get a significant break of that time frame, then I will possibly look at entering. So we'll see what happens. So we have a minute to go to the close of the 5-minute bar. You can see there's 55 seconds down below. What I can see on these lower time frames at the moment, I like to go from a high time frame to a time frame below, and you can see here you've got a high, a lower high, and a lower high. So what that tells me is that coming into this 5-minute close, the sellers are lowering their prices. So very clearly on that, we go to a shorter time frame on the 1 minute as well. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. We're coming up to this low, so we're getting lower highs but the same lows. So just really watching this for the next couple of minutes or so to see if we can possibly break out through there. If it doesn't, it might find support and then actually turn around, because this is a really significant level. I've actually got lots of other charts up apart from this one. I've got all my screens on the side, so I've got lots of different time frames, and as I just say that, it's just starting to move. So I'm just going to wait and see. It's just touched that level. And there it is. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, now it's broken. It's definitely breaking through that level, so I'm just going to give it a couple more seconds to see if it's going to stay through that level. Okay, I'm going to sell. Oh, and there we go. Okay, so I'm in. Okay, so I'm in this trade now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a stop loss in. Now I've just done 10 contracts, because what this can do is it can break through and then come back up again, because it is such a significant level. But first thing I need to do is put a stop into the market, and I'm going to do it here. Now I usually do it at the higher of the bar, but we are in profit now, so I'm going to move it to 50%, and I'm just going to watch what this bar is telling me. Okay, so now we're in profit, so I'm not going to let that profit turn into a loss. It could come back up against me, but I'm going to put it there. And as you can see, as it's moving, I'm actually not getting enough time to even put my stop there. So we're in profit now. I'm going to move that down to 50% sort of this level here. But what I'm looking at now is I'm just looking at what the bars are going to tell me. So we've got a high, a lower high, and a lower high. I don't want to have my stop too close. This is what people do as a mistake. They put their stop too close. It may come back up and try and, in a sense, shake the tree to get the people that aren't serious. But I'm just going to watch what this bar is telling me here. I'm on a 1-minute chart. I'll go to this time frame here as well, just to see what the bar. So we've got the 2-minute close coming up as well, and that's going to close strong. Remember what we spoke about before: high, lower high, pullback, and now breaking through this level with space. So I'm going to go back to that shorter time frame, and I'm just going to let the bars tell me. I'm not going to move anything now. So what I will do, just watching this bar, I'm looking at 50% of this bar now to see if it will come up and test it, but it's actually moving down. So I'm going to protect my profit again, and I'm going to move it down to this high here, because this means high, lower high, the sellers are lowering their prices. So I now can't have a loss on this trade. So that's a huge huge benefit mentally. I'm not worried about having a loss on this. I'm just watching the rest of the market. I'm just watching the Nasdaq and the S&P. They're moving at this very same time as this. So whilst gold's going down, they're going up. So I don't look at announcements. I haven't looked at the news just to see if there's any news. I'm just looking at price action on the charts, going through exactly what I've spoken about before: high, lower high, breaking it below. We're trading with the trend. We have a pullback here, and we have space, breakout of that level. So now it's just a matter of looking at the bars. I also use, that I've done in previous videos, I will use what's called geometric angles to measure momentum, to measure the strength of the move. So I just want to keep my eye on this bar here at the moment, but I can see previously that was a run down, another run down, another run down. So what I could do is I could go to this here, and I could say, okay, well, that's a previous run down. Okay, and I can repeat that over here to give me an idea of how strong it is. So we can already tell based on the previous runs down, this is quite significant. So we're already starting to find a little bit of support here, but that was quite a significant bar. So we could do a couple of sideways bars, but just going back to here again, I'm not going to think about it too much. We've got a high, lower high, and another lower high. So the sellers are still in control. Now, what I will do now, because we're going down now, I'm going to protect my profit again, and we've just dropped again. So I'm going to actually move it to 50% of this bar, because if this turned around, it would break two significant levels, and if it did come up to that 50%, that would mean it's broken several significant levels. So I'm just going to watch what the bar is telling me here. We've got 27 seconds to go to the close of the bar. Now, as I mentioned previously, I am looking at several other charts here, several other time frames. I've got a 1 minute time frame up here, but I also have the 5 minute and the 15 minute on other charts here, so I can tell what are important levels. But again, I'm just looking at the bars here. My reason for getting in was because it was very clear there was someone in control, and my rules for getting out is, if in doubt, get out. So if there's any doubt here on whether this is continuing to go down, the bars will tell me. I've used that angle from before, and what I can already tell based on that previous angle is it's not really the same here. This is actually quite a lot of price in a short amount of time. So we could even go to this angle here, see that one there, and you can clearly see we've done a lot of price on the downside in a short amount of time. So really have to keep our eyes on the bars here. Now I'm just going to move my stop down to this level here, because I want to protect my profit. We can't have a loss on this, but we can see the amount we're already in profit, so I can really sort of just concentrate on what the bars are telling me. So we've just had another close, going back to what I was talking about before: high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. No reason to get out of this trade, so I'm going to protect my profit again. I'm going to move it down to this high here, which also happens to be 50% of this bar. Now, I could get out before this stop. I may manually exit, but this is a stop that I have in the market at all times. So if it does turn around really quickly, faster than I have time to react, that I've protected my profit. So you can see here, I'm just looking at the bars. We're still making lower highs. We've got 23 seconds to the close of this bar. We've just had another close, so we've still going along. As I've said before, there's still no reason to get out of this trade. I am going to move my stop up to this level here, and you see as I'm moving it, it's actually dropping. So I'm going to protect my profit here. We've had a drop down, and I'm just looking at these different levels where we are at the moment. So I know that this is a really significant level throughout here. Okay, we've got a level throughout here and we're coming up to that level. We're very close to it. So there's a high probability we could actually find support at this level here. It has been quite volatile throughout here. So I'm just going to go back to this time frame again and I'm going to watch the bars. So I could get taken out here. If it did go up now, it would break 1 and 2 highs. So that's 2 levels, and as I said, I've already got this line here. I know that there's a high probability it's going to find some support around that level. So I'm just going to leave my stop in there. I can't have a loss on this now. I don't want to be too aggressive. You can see it's fairly, it's not too far away, but it's also not too close, because we may go sideways here and then continue down. So I'm just going to watch what this bar tells me. And you can see on this bar here, we've come all the way down and come all the way back up to the close, to the open. So the open and close are the same, and we've now got another bar where the open and close are the same. So you've got 3 bars in a row here, and as I say that, it just starts to drop. So it's still dropping. But we'll just see what this bar does. So you can see coming up to this level here, we're still making lower highs. So you could say that momentum is starting to slow a little bit with the size of these bars, but I'm still just going to leave my stop there. 28 seconds to go. The market's moving on these other charts at the moment, but from the analysis that I've done earlier, there's no entries on these charts. So just watching this one. My profit is protected. I'm just watching this now. It looks like it's finding support there, so it could come up fairly quickly from here. And this is going to be the first bar on opposite fifths. It looks on the upside. So there's now some doubt on if the control on the downside is still in control. And we've broken 2 highs here, and it looks like I'm not going to move. If it takes me out, it takes me out. And there we go. So it's taken me out. So as we said, I said this well beforehand, it was already starting to tell us before we got out here that it was slowing. So I had this level down here. So this was measuring momentum. And you could tell with the bars beforehand, we were coming up to that level. We broke a couple of highs, and you can also see there's some doubt now whether the downside is still in control. So that's a good trade, and we've still got the rest of the night, so we'll see what happens.